battle of the budget bangers. Hey, welcome back to Donja Knife and Tool. Today on the table we have 9 budget knives, all made in China, and 3 bonus knives off to the side here. Now, I've been feeling like certain brands are being rammed down my throat when I'm looking for budget EDC knives. Some of those brands, again, this is not to make fun of any company or any person or any designer. This is not to hurt feelings, but yes, this is going to hurt some people's feelings if you're a real fan of these companies here. Starting with, like, say, CJRB. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It's just a Chinese company trying to force, I guess, what they think we want. And the same with Civivi. Unfortunately, I was a big fan. The We company is the parent company. Then you have Civivi, and Sencut is their lowest model or brand there. The point of this whole thing is that a lot of these companies like CJRB and Civivi have all the marketing power, and they're just everywhere. They're at Walmart, they're on Amazon, they're in knife shops, they're everywhere. They've flooded the market, and quite honestly, I feel like they're quite overpriced. All right. I have a list here off to the side so I don't mess this up because there's a lot of different things going on here. For starters, all Civivi, Sencuts, and Wies come in a really nice pouch. You know, comes with a lot of junk, really. Cleaning cloth is good. It matches the knife, as a matter of fact. The stickers and everything else, fur-coated, fur-lined case. That's great. I'm never going to use this case. Why would I? This goes in my pocket. So this is going to stay in the box or end up going in the garbage. I'm never going to, what am I going to display it in this pouch? That doesn't make any sense. So right off the bat, first suggestion to Civivi right here. Stop with all this. Just wrap the knife in a, some protective material when you ship it. And why don't you cut a lot of money off the price? How about that, for starters? All right, so here we go. I got this. Don't know about the ivory color, but I'm a lime green guy. So this is the Civivi X1. All right. Nice knife. Again, I'm not here to bash Civivi or any company. It's a really nice knife. Okay. Nitro V steel, G10 handles. It does come in black, so you don't have to get the lime green and the ivory. I thought it was a different look. So, there's different options here. This is $58.99. Okay? And you really don't see Civivi going on sale or getting any kind of Amazon coupons or anything like that really ever. So that's the price you're going to pay, pretty much. It feels okay. That's the designer there. Mr. Brown, I guess. And again, it's not to knock the designer. It's a nice design. I love this giant jimping. I love what they call a nail. This could act as a nail nick, I guess. Great pocket clip. But, and of course, I'm a sucker for a cleaver blade like this. So, I saw this and I jumped right on it. A new model came out. The opening and closing is not fantastic. The liner lock is not fantastic. It's just okay. Under that one, we have ccFFcc. All right, so it's got the FF symbol with the C's on around the outside there. All right. This comes in at $27.99 with the black and red carbon fiber handle. You can buy the same exact model with a G10 plain colored handle for $19.99. So this is D2 steel, red and black carbon fiber handles, and that is fantastic. You can feel the quality is so much better. the way it locks up, the way it opens, the smoothness of the, this is like an FreeAngle thing too, the smoothness of the liner lock there. It feels good. This one, you can even hear the difference. And that liner lock, you can see it's just cheaper made. This is just painted green, by the way. It's not anything special, which I thought it was when I ordered it. Turns out it's just steel painted green. So this is fairly new to Amazon. Again, $27.99 for D2 steel with carbon, $19.99 for D2 steel with G10 handles. And you can feel the difference immediately. Let's move on because it gets funnier. This popped up on Amazon, okay. D2 steel, G10 handles. This is some sort of, I don't know, polyplastic or something. I'm not sure what that is. It's, you know, cheaply made. I'm not sure if that'll take an impact if I drop it on cement or anything else like that, but whatever. This was like $9, I think. I got it on an Amazon sale for like right around $9, maybe $11. So I figured for that price, drop it in the cart, check it out. This thing is fantastic. It feels awesome. It feels literally equivalent to the same exact liner lock that Civivi has. It literally feels no different. They're both not that great to get to. I mean, they both work just fine. Now, it must have been a promotional deal because it's now currently, as of today, $19.90. If I had known it was this good, I would have gladly paid that. It does say FreeAngle on it, all right, but it is D2 steel, they say on the listing, and it is a nice G10. I've also seen this exact knife, maybe in a different color, same hardware, same lanyard loop, the same exact curved design, because it reminded me of a baseball or a basketball or something, from another company. Probably for a lot more money. So, kind of the same thing I said when I did the last video with the FreeAngles. I'm noticing a lot of these companies are shipping their knives in the same exact box. And we already went through that whole situation. So, you take it for what it is and how you think it's going to be. But, you know, that's where I'm at. So, you know, from $10 to under $30 to under $60. And this one wins out of the liner lock group. I'm going to say that's just my opinion. All right, this is kind of disappointing for $60. Okay, this was surprisingly nice. You know, I saw the one for $20, and I spent the extra $7.99 to get the red and black carbon, and I'm glad I did. It looks really cool. You know, I wouldn't carry something this slick usually, in case you're in the rain or the mud or anything like that. I would go to G10. This is the perfect carry knife. Cheap enough where if I lose it, I'm not going to cry about it. And good enough to get the job done. Excellent blade. Excellent blade. Moving on, back to the top of column 2, the Civivi Savant. Okay, I saw this with the wood. This has been discontinued. All right, so the two that are left is a G10, I think, with silver aluminum and a Damascus blade. Nice knife. Again, this is a black stonewash, is very cool. I'm not here to beat up on Civivi, all right, but I'm just a little disappointed with the quality for the money I spent on these, all right. This one was probably around the $50. Currently, the two that are available are between $42.50 and $62.50. This was kind of in the middle of both of those. 14C28N, aluminum frame lock with a wooden scales. I thought it was a great looking piece. It functioned beautifully for a while, and then it's actually starting to do it right now. It gets a little stiff, and there's no blade play or anything like that, but every once in a while it gets real difficult to deploy. Alright, so could this have been made cheaper? Possibly. For the same exact price range of $49, you got the $263 Highline. D2, some might say, okay, it's not as good as 14C, but, you know, whatever. Now we're just splitting hairs. We're not trying to compare apples to oranges here. We're just doing an overview here, guys. But this is also a frame lock, aluminum frame with the G10 in there. All right, this is around the $50 range. You can catch these on sale for under 40 bucks. All right, the action of this just feels better than the Civivi Savant. So for the same price, I would have chose this all day long. Now, I know these two are frame locks. This is not a frame lock, but it's kind of, yeah, it's a line lock, just like the first row. So I'm adding this into the frame lock row here because this was from the last video, and I am so infatuated with this thing. It is such a good knife for $26.99. D2 steel, G10 handles. It feels fantastic. The action is far superior than both of these. Okay, so these two are in the $50 range, $26.99, and I'm sorry, in my opinion, this FreeAngle smokes most of what's on the table right here. Most of everything we've already talked about, I'd pick this all day long. Sticking with the Civivi lower models is Sencut. Okay, you can hear that really doesn't, nothing amazing there when you deploy that. It does have, it is a button lock with a flipper. Okay, so that's what attracted me to that. The black micarta with the stainless steel looking blade, which is 9CR18 MOV. That's kind of a low-end steel for a knife that currently costs $46.50. Now, I know Spyderco's got a few around the $50, $60, $75 range that are also 9CR18 MOV, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that steel. But for Sencut being the lowest on the totem pole of the Wii products and still commanding a price of $46.50, and it doesn't even, I mean, it deploys just fine, but it's just like spongy. There's nothing fantastic about it. It's all around just okay. Sharp. I mean, it's got all the ingredients, but the action is just nothing to write home about. I'll tell you that much right now. Not for just under 50 bucks. Now, same button in the button lock line here. I think we all are aware of this. We've done a video on this as well, and these are lighting up all over YouTube right now. The Ozark Trail Elevation, okay, 12C27 and a G10 handle. Okay, this thing, I think the action smokes the Sencut, and it's literally half the price. It's $24.97. Okay, so $24.97, $46.50. All right. The only thing that I would love this, make this love this more, if it had the flipper. Okay, but they're all button locks. I mean, you can't beat this thing for under 25 bucks. And that is aluminum, not like this guy's got plastic. This is actually anodized aluminum and orange. Great piece. And last in the button lock lineup, this was an absolute surprise. This one is so good, I added a lanyard and I've been carrying it all week. This is a brand I've never heard of. This is the BFonder. Okay, B-F-O-N-D-E-R. BFonder was on Amazon. These were on Amazon for $9.99. And I read the listing. I thought it looked fantastic. Again, it looks just like another knife I've seen from another manufacturer. I don't know if it's Riot or who it was, but this one and this one, I don't know if I'm not going to say they're copies of anything else, but they have their own brand names. They might be made from different factories. I mean, the same factories that the other ones are made in. I don't know. All right, anybody understands what's going on with that? Hit me in the comments, man. Help me out here. All right, I'm trying to do some research, but I can't get anything found on these things. This is 440C blade steel, which, as long as we're on this, you know, I want everybody to understand, Most older Chinese knives, as they're stamped 440, it could be 440A or 440B, not so great. 440C has been one of the best blade steels ever produced, and we've been all using it unknowingly for decades and decades and decades. So I've got knives on a shelf over there that are 20, 30 years old that are 440C that I can't damage the blades on. This thing is a fidget monster. When I got it, it was a little stiff out of the box. It was a little hard to do the front roll and the finger with the thumb studs there, but you can see, no problem now. What an absolute beautifully constructed knife. Aluminum handle. I'm sorry, not aluminum handles. This is a stainless handle, so it does have some weight to it. All right. This thing feels like it's not even half the weight of this thing. So this has some weight. You know it's in your pocket. This was so popular, it was immediately sold out on Amazon from last week. And now it is unavailable on Amazon. But if you go to the BFonder website, you can buy it directly from them. Not for $10, but now for $15. For $15, absolutely worth it. That's what I paid for this one, and this one is now back up to $20. So you got to get them while the deals are cooking, guys. Again, this is not to make anybody feel bad if you have a Civivi knife or if you're a fan of Civivi or anything else. And I know we're not trying to compare different knives to different knives here. I know these all have their differences, all right? But for instance, this was cool because it was Nitro V for $60. But guess what? Kizer, which I've showed this many times, this is the Riverbank. Possibly unavailable now. I couldn't find it today. This I got for under $40, but it's also the equivalent to the Kizer Nice Guy. Okay, another same size knife, different colors. Both of these Kizers, the Riverbank and the Nice Guy, both come in Nitro V, and they both have micarta handles, and they're both under $39. So again, everybody's like, well, pointing out, well, this is Nitro V, so that's why it's $60. Well, this is Nitro V too, it's under $40. Okay, so any of the arguments hit me in the comments with the arguments, guys, but I'm pretty sure I've already talked about them all in real life with other guys, and, I can't find a reason why the Civivis and the Sencuts are so pricey. And if it's because of stuff like this, get rid of it and give us a better deal on the knife. So, again, I'd take this over the X1 any day, even though I like a cleaver blade, but, you like a cleaver blade that much. I've already showed this effing girl last time. This is the EF69 for $24.99 with D2 steel. It's a much bigger knife, so it's really not a comparison, but, if you're looking for that tactical, this is obviously a much bigger monster. So I'm not comparing these two directly, but, I would take this for $24 over this for $68 any day of the week. In the button lock arena, I was going to put this in, but the Defcon, all right? You have the Defcon Tier 1 and Tier 2. I believe the Tier 1 has a silver blade, and the Tier 2s, which this is, have the black blades. They come in 3 colors. They have 14C28N. Oh, just like this guy, huh? 14C28N. This is... I did a video on this one too. Check out my previous videos. This is fantastic. The action on this is amazing. Lockup. There's nothing wrong with anything on this table. Again, don't think I'm trying to make fun of anybody or beat up on one particular knife, because I'm not. I'm just trying to point out there's way better knives that are under $50. Well, it's not this one. Instead of buying these giant big name brands that I think you're all missing out on. All right, and that's my job here, is to make sure you're getting the best deal you can get on the best quality knives you can get at the same time. So, like I said, please help me out here. Hit me in the comments. If you have any other, do you know a knife that's better than any of these? I've got a lot of other choice here. This is what I chose to compare to these Civivis and Sencuts because they were cheaper and better at the same time. Everything here is cheaper than the Civivis and Sencuts, and I believe, in my opinion, they're all much better this feels like a cheap Chinese knife, especially when you, I mean, it's all right, it's nice, but now that unlock, oof, not great. The deployment was fantastic. It looks classy. Doesn't it look classy? I thought this was going to be the greatest knife I ever bought. Jimping on top, I read all the specs, and it's just clunky. Sometimes it just doesn't deploy properly. It's doing fine now, but I don't know. I had a couple nights where I couldn't open that thing up there. And, you know, I didn't feel like it was such a good purchase after that. And, you know, the Sencut, same thing, but it's like doughy. I don't even know how to explain. It's soft. You know, you got something like this, it's just like, wow, that's solid. You know, any of these smoked that Sencut, and that's on me. I thought that was going to be the greatest knife ever. You know, I have a thing for the black micarta, you know, and not the greatest blade steel on that. So, again, hit me in the comments. Tell me what you think of this, the whole situation here. Tell me if I'm just being mean to Civivi and Sencut for no reason, if you feel that way. Are there better Civivis out there that I'm just not aware of? Or maybe I'm just shying away from them because they left a bad taste in my mouth already as it is. Either way, guys, I'm trying to grow the channel. Please hit the subscribe button. There's a button at the end of the video for you to hit. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.